Tomorrow, besties. My name is Jess. I'm your witchy best friend, and I'm here today to do a VR to a hashtag that's going around called it's hashtag witches into the void, and this is by Draven Michael and Amber, who is the psychopomp of the void. And I just kind of wanted to do a response. I thought these are some really interesting questions. I'll link them all below and the creators of this, and I hope you guys will go and show them support as well as maybe do some answers to the questions yourself. But here goes. So the first question is the autumn breeze. What essence does Samhain have for you? How do you know when the veil starts to thin? I start seeing a few more shadow people than I normally do. My dreams become a little bit more intense and a little crazy, which they absolutely have within the last month or so. I also just can feel it, in my spirit, my essence. I just feel the veil is thinning. Question 2, the cloak. How do you protect yourself energetically during Samhain? I protect myself every day. I enchant my jewelry. I have enchantments and protections around my home. I burn things every day to kind of, cleanse my space and my cards and everything else. But that's something I do every day. Once a month I'll go through and retighten all my wards and lock all my mirrors and such. So question 3, the harvest. Where have you been cultivating all year that is time to collect and put to a close? I think the people that don't serve me, the people that don't treat me well, the people who don't have my best interest at heart. This year I've really found out who my true friends are and who really has my back. And I found a whole group of other witches that are just like me who accept my weird ass. So that's pretty great. And I'm letting go of the people who don't accept me and don't serve me. Question 4, the Hearth. What energies are you looking to invite into your sacred space? Feel free to share paranormal experiences in the home for this one. So both my parents have passed away. My dad was a joker. He liked to tease and pick fun and just pretty practical jokes and stuff. I mean, funny story. So when the man died, he always said that he wants to be buried with his ass in the air so the world could kiss it. And when we found him dead, he was under the desk with his ass in the air, and he had a giant smile on his face because he knew. He's like, this is how I'm going. I know I'm going. I'm going to give him one last laugh. And he totally did. But he comes and he hides my things, and he thinks it's funny. I don't think it's funny. There was an incident many, many years ago, like the Christmas after he died, and we were babysitting my aunt's dog, and I wear glasses. I'm blind without the glasses. I can't see nothing. It's really bad. I mean, like these are thinned out. But anyway, so I took my glasses off and I put them on the table next to the bed where they're always at. And I woke up the next day and they were gone. Luckily, I had contacts this time, so I could still see. But it was 3 days, and I finally had to yell at him to put them back. And then I woke up the next morning, and the dog we were babysitting had them wrapped up in my shirt that I'd been wearing the night before. I have no idea how the glasses got into that shirt. I don't know where they were for the last couple of days, but it absolutely him. But if I yell at him, he pretty much puts my stuff back. But just a funny story. Number 5, the Candlelight. What energy, process, or spirit do you wish to sit within stillness on Samhain? I have been trying to work with the Morgan through my meditations and cards and things. I started last Halloween with a good meditation, reaching out, and there have been signs. It's actually going pretty well. And I think, this year I'm going to try to strengthen that just a little bit more and try to build that bond better. It's been working. It's really, really been working out pretty well. And I'm pretty happy with the progress we're making. But we'll move on to the next. Mirror. What must you reflect upon? Death cycles, darkness, and light. Share your internal alchemical process, accepting the shift of the seasons. Um, I want to reflect upon my health this year. I need to get things in order with that. Just there have been roadblocks here and there. Obviously, the teeth, that's a huge problem. Um, I think it's time to let that old part of me die out and like start rebuilding myself into something better and something that will be more sustainable for me. Uh, I'm hoping. So number 7, death. Name something you need to let go of this Samhain. Uh, Old friendships, being a people pleaser, um, not talking about myself constantly to people. I'm trying to be way more mindful of that. Um, Coming to realizations, I've been doing the shadow work. I've been really trying to make myself a better human being. And I'm trying to throw away some of the things that aren't serving me anymore. And I think this is the perfect time to do that. I'm working on spells and ideas of how to facilitate that. But we'll go on to number 8, the void. Share an experience you've had going into your own inner world, or share any paranormal experiences you've had. Nothing is off limits. Share your truth. So there's a couple of things that came to my mind right off the bat. The first thing is before my mother died that night, um, I I was trying to go to sleep and there was just shadows all over my room, everywhere, just shadows everywhere. And then I finally like dozed off and I got a phone call that she was passing, and like that whole time the shadows were like stopping me from finding my keys, stopping me from getting the kids awake to go with me, and I missed her death. She died like before I got there. Um, so there's that's the weird experience. Um, I, so one winter, because I live in Illinois, it gets very, very snowy here, very, very cold. And one winter when my kids were little, I used to have to take them back and forth from their dad's house to my house. And it had snowed really bad. I mean, we had probably a good 15, 16 inches of snow on the ground. And they live out in this little country town. And so me and my cousin were driving to take them home. And keep in mind, there's like tons of snow. It's below zero outside. And we seen this like black shadow thing. It was just the head and then the shoulders and straight down, but it had a black and white scarf on. And it like just stood there and looked at us as we drove by. And like, but there was no footprints. It was like in the middle of the ditch that was full of snow, but it was standing on top of the snow. And then when we came back, it was there, but on the opposite side of the road. But there was like no face, no eyes. It was just like a black shadow with this black and white scarf. And that is something that haunts me till this day because I have no idea what it was. It's something me and the kids talk about because everybody saw it. My cousin saw it. So I know it's real. I know it actually happened. I mean, there's a whole bunch of creepy experiences. One day I'll make a whole video about all the things, ghost hunting and all of that. But let's move on. So number 9, the ascent. Remember, you are alive. Brushing alongside darkness is a necessary aspect of human existence and reminds us of the light. Share a way to keep practice full of life as we near the dark months. So my daily rituals, my daily practice. So I wake up and I pull my card for my ancestors for the morning. I pull a rune, and then I do a little 5-card Lenormand because I'm learning. And this is a great tool for me to like figure that out. So that's like my morning daily. I do it every day, mostly every day. And then I have my nightly rituals, which incorporates like the Morgan, doing my ritual at night for her and closing out my night with her. And in the mornings, I greet her in the mornings and light my altar candle, which I moved because I didn't want to set my hair on fire. Excuse me. Smoker's cough. But I want to keep doing that. I've also incorporated within the last couple weeks of going out and spending 5 minutes outside at night and just like connecting with the moon and talking with the moon and just pulling that energy down, which has been really great. Of course, that might be why my dreams have been a little crazy too. Who knows? But let's move on. The offering. Tell us what you like to use as an offering on Samhain. This could be an item for an entity. So for the last 3-4 years that we've been in this place, Matt and I, and now my son Caden, we do a silent supper on Samhain, which is I don't know if you guys can see it. There's like no, dang. My ancestors' altar is behind me, and if you'd like, I'll do like a whole walkthrough with that too, because I like it and I kind of want to show off them. But I moved my ancestor altar downstairs. I have a skull that I put in the table, and then we make a meal that I know the ancestors would enjoy, like my mom's chicken and biscuits, or my mom really loves spaghetti. We do stuff like that, like something I know that they will really, really enjoy. And then we eat in silence. And then I leave the plate that I make them of food, I leave that as an offering to them overnight. And then the next day we dispose of it. Because where I live, I can't leave stuff out for animals, unfortunately. But we just, we throw it away. But it's, we still make that offering to them. Just as a way to say thanks for thinking about you. I do a lot of ancestor work as it is because my family was gifted too. And they're still around. I consider my best friend from high school. She's still, she's on my ancestor altar. She was like a sister to me as I'm an only kid. But yeah, things like that. And then 11, speaking of ancestors, what do you connect with on Samhain? So like I said, we usually set up my little ancestor altar downstairs at the kitchen table. So it'll be like my parents, my cousins, my grandparents, my best friend from high school, Tracy. We put pictures of, the people Matt has lost. I have a whole bunch of like the little prayer cards that you get from funerals. We put those down, and I just asked them to come join us. I asked them to come in, feast with us. And then after dinner, I'll come up here and I'll meditate and I'll do my dedication. And I haven't figured out quite yet what I want to do for Samhain. But I know I want to do like a release spell, I think, and then like do some more ancestor work. Like this whole month with my nightly tarot polls, I'm doing like spooky themed tarot polls, like different like spooky shadow work kind of things, just to delve a little bit deeper into my psyche. And I thought it'd be just a good, like doing some more like deeper ancestor work and past life work, and trying to meditate like at least 3 nights a week, and then do my thing with the moon. So I'm hoping it'll help me bring in all of those ancestors so I can commune with them. And I want to kind of try to see about pulling in ancestors I don't know. I mean, I know some of my family history, but if I could pull in some of those that I don't know to see what kind of energy is there too. But we'll see. So question number 12, the bridge. How does the thinning of the veil affect your psychic abilities? Oh, it makes connection easier. I'm pretty open to the things around me. I know how to shut it off. I know how to open it up if I wanted to talk to spirits, or just, I have a certain thing when I pull cards for myself, certain rituals that I do. And Samhain definitely makes it easier. This time of year and like Beltane, those two periods of time, it's always a little bit easier and open for them to come through. Like I know my spirit guide has really been active with me. I know Dad's been here because he's been hiding stuff on Matt, hiding stuff on me. It's definitely that the activity definitely ramps up a little bit this time of year for sure. And then the final question, number 13, the liminal. What are you trying to integrate or take away from Samhain? What is it that you're looking forward to this particular time of year, and what do you seek to accomplish by vitalizing the energies? Sorry, my handwriting's horrible. It's hard for me to read sometimes. Um, this is probably like my favorite time of year. I love fall. I love when the temperatures start getting cooler. I hate summer. Don't. I like fall. I like snow. I like winter. Don't tell my boyfriend. He'll be very, very upset. He does not like snow. But I love this time of year. My birthday is in like a little over a month too. So like once we hit like that Samhain, then I was like, ooh, my birthday's coming up soon. So that's I get excited for that, and then all the other holidays after that. It's just like that slow time of the year. It's starting to get quiet. It's peaceful. I like this time of year because I can sit back and reflect, and I can work on releasing things, working on my magic. I've been pulling the High Priestess card a lot lately, and I know they're trying to tell me I need to work with my intuition, and that's something I definitely want to do. I'm trying to do this month with Samhain, and like I said, my birthday's coming up really quick here too, and I do have a couple things like I want to do around that magically, for myself. So when I hit my next level, I want to be a little bit better at things with my next level of life. Um, but yeah, that's all. I really want to say thank you to Draven and thank you to Amber for like totally coming up with this and making videos. And I've loved your insight and your thoughts on things. And I hope mine's just it's me. I don't know what else to say. I don't know how to end this, but bye.